News and opinion from Newsnet Scotland. Uniquely Scottish. And now, the week ahead.
Hi, I'm Martin Hannan from Newsnet Scotland, and we've been discussing the week ahead, what's going to come up on the news agenda in particular. Newsnet Scotland will try its best to give you coverage of all these events over the next 4 or 5 days. The first real issue, which will come up tomorrow, and it's quite dominated by news from the Parliament, is that the Parliament, for the first time at committee, will discuss the Scotland Bill, which, as you know, has been very controversial. We anticipate a fairly serious debate tomorrow, and we will be reporting on that. Sometime over today, tomorrow, perhaps Wednesday, the so-called GERS report will come out. Now, let me assure you that's nothing at all to do with the Rangers Football Club, but it's all about the energy expenditure in Scotland over the last couple of years, what our resources are, what our possible income would be if we were an independent country. It's sure to cause a great deal of debate, but with the price of oil not having fallen below something like $80 a barrel, it should be really quite good news. It will be very good news for the British Exchequer. That's coming out in the next couple of days. We'll be on to that one as soon as it breaks. Wednesday, we often in Scotland divide ourselves into Central Scotland, the urban belt, and the rest. Well, that's not really right, is it? So on Wednesday there is a big debate which has a major sort of ramifications for Scotland, which is a debate on rural Scotland in the Parliament, and particularly about fisheries. And of course, Scotland doesn't have a seat at the big table when it comes to discussing fisheries, even though we supply most of the fish for the UK and possibly for Europe as well. Thursday is going to be a big day. Thursday is going to have the First Minister's questions as usual, and we'll wonder if they'll continue on the issue of the Supreme Court, about which more later. But also on Thursday there is the questions to the law officers, to Frank Mulholland QC, the new Lord Advocate, we think is doing a pretty good job. He will be up for answering questions from parliamentarians, and in the afternoon there will be the first debate on what is being known as the Bigots Bill, the anti-sectarian measures which the government is rushing through, no question about it, before June the 30th. The reason why it has to be done before June the 30th is that Parliament rises on June the 30th. Curiously, it rises on June the 30th because the official opening is on July the 1st. But you can work that one out yourself. Basically, during the week we'll be giving coverage of the Inverclyde by-election, which is boiling up quite nicely. We'll certainly be looking at the issue of how the Labour leader in Inverclyde, Ian Mackenzie, is able to come forward as a Labour candidate when he's in bed with the Tories on Inverclyde Council. That is an issue which we think is worth looking at. Abroad, news-wise, there's a big summit this week which involves Europe, of course. Scotland's not represented at the top table, but we will have no doubt some news that will affect Scotland, particularly the collapsing economies of Greece and elsewhere. That will undoubtedly affect us, so we'll be trying to get a Scottish viewpoint on that. In arts and culture at the moment, which the Edinburgh International Film Festival is on, and Harry McGrath, our diligent arts editor, will be reporting from there, and he will also have, hopefully later in the week, a couple of pretty serious interviews. Look out too for stuff from Brian Morton, who has been very kind in assisting us with some marvellous stuff. Sport-wise, well, it's fairly obviously going to be dominated by Andy Murray in Wimbledon. We actually think he kicks off today, that's Monday, and hopefully he will still be there by the end of next week, and in the final itself. That will be something we will follow with interest. Also, we'll be bringing you news on the whole Team GB issue for football. The British Olympic Association claims that it has people who are prepared to represent other countries within Great Britain, whereas the Scottish Football Association has given categoric assurances that they will not take part in any Team GB for football at the Olympics, either men's or women's. Furthermore, they say they've also spoken to all the players, and none of the players in either the men's or women's national squad wants to be featured in the Team GB. So, does that mean that Wales and Northern Ireland have capitulated? It'll be interesting to find out. We will report on that issue. It's always a busy week for news in Scotland, and hopefully you'll tell your friends about Newsnet Scotland and what we're trying to do here. Thank you.